And we're back.
Oh, we're back
Yes.
from the break. I'm glad we took that break.
That was great.
That was a good break.
So now that we're done talking at everyone.
I like talking to everyone. It's why we're here, isn't it?
And ignoring their comments.
Comments? Oh, yeah. Look,
There's people.
There are comments.
Yep.
As
so
in what? That's a good comment.
What?
Anyway, so now is
The best
the
time.
part of the show where we all like to listen to what you guys have to say. Please, if you have any kind of question you'd like to ask us, send it in a private message to COTGW. You can see it here in the chat. Let's see all the wonderful questions we've received so far.
Ding.
All right, cool.
We already have our first question. So yes, it's Q&A time. Oh, you know what I need to do?
Yep. Yes.
I need to switch this thing to a Q&A.
Boom.
Ding.
See, now that people come on, they won't be confused.
That's true.
Why
What
are they
the hell
talking about
about?
Yes.
All right, first question to pop things off.
Yep. Pop it off. Pop and lock.
PSI Nightshade, in order to private message on the Twitch chat, I think you have to click on the name and just send it.
Yep.
Our good friend Akira VGA at videogameauctions.com has said, Elder Scrolls Online. Thoughts?
I'm going to try to keep this as short as I can. I love the idea of Elder Scrolls as a single-player RPG and have a very difficult time seeing the process go to an online game. I don't see that happening, and I don't think I'd want to be a part of it. They've tried this with other universes, and it hasn't worked.
I can't remember who...
I don't want a MMO about Halo. I just don't want it. I want that experience to stay where it is.
I can't remember where I read it, but someone had a good point about how it's like, you know, if you're, or maybe it was a comic, I don't know, where it's like if you're going up to meet the king and be like, oh yes, you're the only one that can save us, but get in line behind those other 10 people because I need to tell them how they're the only one. And
right.
It kind of takes away the epicness, so to speak,
does.
of Elder Scrolls.
Yes.
When it's an online and it's blah blah blah. It's kind of like, I guess, Star Wars Galaxies. If everyone's a Jedi, then it's not very exciting or something like that.
I don't remember exactly the interview or the person that said this, but someone was doing an interview with one of the producers at Bethesda and asked them, what do you have interest in doing an Elder Scrolls Online kind of concept? And what they said was, we produce epic, kick-ass, single-player experiences. That's what we've always done. That's what we'll always do. There you go.
All right.
So next question.
If anyone's having problems,
Click on my name.
messaging, just click on that name there.
All right. Is this a good one?
Yep.
All right.
Let's
so
see.
This is
from not. Where am I looking?
Helmasaur King. Helmasaur. That's a cool name. I like that.
It is.
But guys, what makes a good story for a video game specifically? That's a great question.
That's a very open-ended question.
Is a game realizing the full potential of the medium if it's only telling a story through cutscenes and dialogue boxes? That's a great question.
Mm-hmm.
And what importance do interactivity play in a video game narrative? Man, every single one of those could be an entire podcast.
Now you have 20 seconds to answer. Go.
Oh shit. Okay, first one. What makes a good story for a video game specifically?
Anything, as long as it's engaging. I mean, it's really hard to say specifically what makes...
Time's up.
Okay.
For me, it's about relatability. So just like there is in any kind of art, it's if you can find yourself or if you can learn something about yourself or see yourself and reflect that in some of the characters and get that back at you. Number 2, is a game realizing the full potential of the medium if it's only telling a story through the cutscenes and dialogue boxes?
No. See, that was quick.
Easy.
I mean, video games are interactive. Make it interactive. There.
Yeah, but the story gets advanced through those things. I think they're very important. And we got the reason that we're in trouble is because we got locked into those things.
In the same way, it's a bad idea in a movie to have just Mr. Exposition.
Yeah.
You
exactly.
could do that. It just sucks.
I agree.
Do that.
All right, cool. We're in agreement with that.
What importance does interactivity play in video game narrative? That's kind of what we were just saying.
It is. I mean, that's why Radical Dreamers is almost not fun because it's almost not a text-based game. It's almost like an interactive book.
And I believe a mail message and a private message is the same thing.
Boom.
There you go.
Next. I think we handled that well. Let's see. What's again here?
Whoops. From LED Naruto, or LED Naruto. Where do you think a narrative makes a video game not a video game?
I think we talked Radical Dreamers.
You don't call that a video game?
I'm not saying I don't. I'm just saying it sits right on the edge. It's like, remember how we joked during the marathon we were going to play Compton's Interactive Encyclopedia?
We did for 5 minutes.
We played that for 5 minutes. We tried our best to make it into an experience of some kind, but there really wasn't one, right? But meanwhile, if I made a game out of flicking things at the camera right now with like little pieces of popcorn or something, I could make a game out of that. And I could make it mean something. Like maybe, I'm storming the castle, or I'm trying to hit the people in there, right? And I could turn that into some kind of narrative. I'm not saying,
The narrative in Jeopardy was much better.
Yeah, much better.
From Zombie Gadget, what would be your favorite horror story game?
Come on. For me, it's...
All right, I'll read that as story in a horror game, video game.
Oh, that's what you're asking.
That's what I'm going to parse.
Story in a horror game. So, Resident Evil is my favorite horror game, but the story in that is...
For the last question, Heavy Rain is also probably a good example where it's more
fantastic.
stories in game.
Fantastic, but Heavy Rain is a game, not a book.
It's a quick time event.
So is Myst. So, Resident Evil story is awful. It's been awful for about 10 games now. The original story of Resident Evil was awesome, and it's terrible now. So, I would say... Silent Hill. The original Silent Hill.
One?
The original Silent Hill is an awesome story.
I think Silent Hill 2 is better, but I'm going to go with Nashvara with Eternal Darkness because
Eternal Darkness
was very awesome. Good with but it calls so much from the Cthulhu mythos.
Yeah.
I can't think of his name for some reason. All of a sudden I'm completely drawing a blank.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about too.
You know who I'm talking about.
Shit. Lovecraft.
Lovecraftian mythos. Thank you.
Anyway, next.
What? How was Hurricane got personal?
Nice.
Oof. Okay, maybe you'll have one. Dragon Sincade has asked, what is your favorite bullet hell game? I'm not a big fan of those, I will say.
I'm a fan.
I was hoping you would have a good answer to this because I really don't have one.
Serious Sam.
Okay, yeah.
Serious Sam.
That was a fun one.
Is an awesome series of games. And I haven't even played the newest one, or I guess all they have at this point is the HD remix. I'm not sure if the newest one is launched yet, but oh man, those games are awesome. Just kill everything that moves.
I'm going to quickly go with, even though he did it wrong, I'm going to answer Metalhead. What JRPG cliche are you most sick to death of? The whiny, barely pubescent protagonist.
Well, there's only about 20 of them with Final Fantasy I have at this point. That's one of about 20. Old. I'm going to say it's this. I hate the idea of this little rogue group that barely has any cohesiveness, goes and takes on the big, ugly, hairy corporation government / insert here
Shinra?
And overtakes it. I'm just sick of that narrative. Come up with something better. It's like the Japanese have no concept of a story if it's not a group of young people taking over.
Whoa.
What?
Racist?
I'm just saying. When was the last time you played a Japanese game that wasn't about that? I rest my case. The big monolithic thing that those people are trying to take over.
Braid
is even close to Japanese. Next. Glad we're not fact-checking this one.
Algebraic89 asks, how about killing God? That's an interesting...
Yeah, that is an interesting little...
sentence to just throw into... sprinkle into your normal everyday conversation. How about killing God?
Yeah. I'm sure that's what every game is really about.
Thoughts on Borderlands 2? And is any of the CDI marathon footage going to be posted on the site? Yes, it will be at some point. I haven't gotten around to it. I'm sitting on about 40 hours.
I haven't played Borderlands. I haven't played Borderlands. I got to play a little bit of Borderlands 2 while I was at PAX East and thought it was great. However, Max Payne 3 is not to be missed. It's a fantastic game.
Vulcan Assassin.
Yes.
I'm shocked as a fellow Star Trek Online
player. No.
What are your thoughts on Star Trek Online going free to play and the upcoming Elder Scrolls Online? Would you like to see it free to play or monthly fee? I'm a big fan of free to play. And you know what? If I had more time, I played Star Trek Online the first month it came out, and I kind of finished it essentially. And I know they've added a lot more since then, and I would go back, but I don't really have the time. I'm excited that it's free to play though, because that's one of the big reasons I don't play a lot of MMOs is because if I don't feel like I'm playing the hell out of that $15 a month
you're wasting
fee,
your money.
I feel like I'm wasting my money.
You're just burning cash.
When I'm really just wasting time.
Burning cash. Yeah, so I agree with that. And I think there are good ways and bad ways to implement free to play. And if you want an example of how is a good way to implement free to play, just pick up Tribes Ascend.
Yes.
Tribes Ascend. And by the way, any of you that want to PM me your handle in Tribes Ascend, I will add you to my friends list. Anytime we're on, I will play with you. It is so
Send
much
a private
fun.
message to the Commodore.
It is a
clanofthegrey-wolf.com.
fun game. Go into the site, send me a PM with your nick, and I will get with that. In any case,
interesting.
it does a free to play very well. Now, when I started
I'm
out,
a fan of free to play.
I was kicking ass because I played Tribes before and I didn't buy anything. Now that I haven't bought anything and everybody else has bought stuff, I'm not nearly as good because people are just wailing on me with weapons I can't even possibly imagine. But I'm still competitive and it's still fun, and that's what it's all about.
Trevor DB asks, do you guys think that Final Fantasy should end? I personally don't give a lick about the new Final Fantasy stories.
You mean the sub question, or the real question is?
Sub question.
The real question is, should there really be
a Final
Fantasy?
It's kind of been stagnating lately, hasn't it?
No. I think it's fresher than it's ever been. It's
Well,
not like we could define 20 tropes that they've beat to death at this point.
You know what's really ironic about Dragon Quest versus Final Fantasy is that Final Fantasy keeps changing things up, and yet they're stagnating.
Yes.
Dragon Quest is very similar from game to game, although they're going to apparently mix things up a bit in Dragon Quest X.
Yeah.
And yet it's popular as ever in Japan, and also is finally getting something of a foothold in the West.
Yeah.
Dragon Quest IX on the DS did pretty well. I'm pretty sure it's the best-selling Dragon Quest game in the West.
That's awesome.
Which is not surprising because the DS prints money. But should it end?
So I'm going to go with Helmasaur King and answer the question this way. Mm-hmm. It's already dead to me. I don't care.
You're dead to me.
I don't care. I mean, they could make 20 more. I'll probably never play another one. Now, if they don't make another one, I probably won't care either. So it's dead to me.
It should probably go on at least a Star Trek style hiatus. And
I agree.
Should rethink
things. Sit in
the corner and think about what they've
here's
done.
what they should do. They should go on hiatus and remake fucking Final Fantasy VI.
PG.
Freaking Final Fantasy VI.
Much better. All right. Avaganthamos asks, does Pac-Man have teeth? I think he's a supportable whole, actually.
So, in the cartoon, did he have teeth? I don't think he did.
No, that's terrible. That's scary. Have you ever seen the realistic-looking Pac-Man with teeth?
Yes, it's awful.
Terrible.
Yeah, it's awful.
It's terrible.
Apparently, you don't need teeth to eat ghosts. Who would have thought?
Interesting question. Kaz the Gamer Guy asks, are there any niche genres? Are there any niche
Start over.
genres?
Yep.
Like tactical role-playing games that you have fond memories of for their narrative? Tactical role-playing games.
Yeah, so there is I will jump in here. There is a great game for the original Xbox. And if any of you have the original Xbox, you should try to get a copy of this game called Gladius.
You know what? I was just thinking about that the other day, actually.
Gladius is an awesome tactical game, just as good as Final Fantasy Tactics, maybe even better. But the narrative in it is very, very good. Is the narrative the strongest part of the game? Not at all.
But do you have fond memories of it?
I do have fond memories of that story, and it's really cool, especially if you I think side with the Nords or the Imperialists. Anyway, it's a really good game. You should definitely check that one out.
Mikey has an interesting point about he would like to see some Dreamcast and Saturn RPGs remade.
Yeah,
I think that would be nice to see because a lot of people missed those when they first came out.
I agree, and I think
that was during the golden age of JRPGs.
That's right, and I think there are plenty of
Skies of Arcadia. Yeah,
there's plenty of room for that kind of stuff, right? So if the issue is that instead of making a lot of the new games that come out, why not be able to introduce a whole new audience to games that were released but to a very limited audience but were really good? I mean, Seventh Guest just got released on iOS with other ports coming, right? And there's a whole new.
That's a great story.
There's a whole new. It is. It's fantastic. It's awesome. I mean, the actual people are terrible, but you got it. Anyway, go ahead.
The Silent Witch asks if a game has a good story that excuse mundane or even bad gameplay. How about vice versa? Now, we're kind of talking about that with games that are really all gameplay and no story,
So
and games that are all story and no gameplay.
Vice versa. You never get that far. A game that's not fun by virtue of the
Gameplay?
mechanics or difficult, you don't get into